Oh man, what is up, peoples? Van Lee was good. Man, 2024 NBA All-Star game, not good. Not good at all. Dame wins MVP. Dame, I mean, it was a good shooting exhibition, everybody wanted to shoot threes. It's terrible, man. Halliburton came out the gate not missing at all. Oh man. The only thing that was cool about this game was I didn't know Cat Carl Anthony Towns from Minnesota. I didn't know he can dunk like that. You know, I didn't know he was that athletic. But I mean, the West. I mean, Gillis was the only one that really showed up to play. And Cat. You know, I mean, Towns had 50 points. I mean, you could have gave him the MVP. I would have had no problems giving it to a losing team. I mean, he was the only player that I actually enjoyed. Halliburton's threes was nice early on. Then he cooled off. And then Jalen Brown, man, yo, he scored a lot, but he had a weird game. It was like he was really hunting to score the entire game. I know he's a max player making 300 mil now. And he feels like he has to show out. He didn't play that well, but I mean, the All Star game at this point. I mean, well, LeBron. I'm not even gonna get on LeBron. LeBron had eight. Boy, he had 8 points in this game. Good lord. So I mean, they said LeBron was nursing an injury prior. Yeah, it was unwatchable. It is. Yeah, it's gonna be really. This game was unwatchable. I mean, and then Luca. Oh my God, Luca. Listen, I know. Hey, listen. Jason Kidd said Luca was he's in the realm of MJ and a lot of the greats, right? I guess at his current point in career. I don't know if Luca was hurt, but man, he so unathletic. Just didn't look like he belonged out there, honestly. Um, that was not a good showcase. I mean, that missed dunk he had where he got caught on the rim. I mean, I know it's the All Star game is just for fun, but I mean, like, I understand these games are supposed to be high scoring, right? I understand that. I know that defense is gonna take a back seat and everything, but at the same time, though, it was just like the game. I mean, the game was over. I mean, basically at halftime. I mean, clearly the East. I mean, they just couldn't miss a bucket, especially from the three, for a while. And then normally in these kind of close games, or at least in these All Star games, when it's like when one team has a big lead, the other team will kind of cut the gap, and then the last 5 minutes is really competitive. Teams clamp down. Nah, it was just jacking up threes the entire time. Everybody was wanting to shoot in three. Banchero was out there trying to shoot threes. Cat, he had 50 points, but I mean, he was terrible from three. Um, yeah, he was 4 for 13, so he was just jacking up shots left and right. I mean, if that's the case, then it should just be a 3 point, just a 48-minute 3 point contest. You know, Usually in the All Star game, you're supposed to be entertained. There should be some level of basketball you see. It's like, okay, I see this is why guys are pros, right? I didn't get none of that. LeBron James, he was just shooting shots left and right. He was not good tonight. I mean 8 points. I know he wasn't gonna play a whole lot, but even that breakaway dunk. I mean, it looked like he almost got injured on that. And then after that, it was like, you know what, I ain't really gonna be hooping. Like he got the breakaway dunk and he landed, from what I saw, awkwardly on there. Yeah, guys play harder in the YMCA. Right, 9 to 5 guys, church leagues, they play harder than this, But I mean, I get the entertainment aspect and whatnot, but still, like, this was not good. This was not a good showcase whatsoever. Um, I'm almost to the point of like, yo, make it turn this into the Pro Bowl, or like you have the All Stars selected, okay, and then you bring in the G Leaguers, G League All Stars to play the actual game. Cool. You have LeBron and Kawhi and Giannis and Dame and all these guys, Paul George, Halliburton. Cool. These are your All Star selections. Awesome, wonderful, cool. Now let the G Leaguers come out and play actual basketball. I'm sure that would have been much more entertaining than what we saw. I think this is the first year they went back to East and West, so no, they had team captains for each conference, but and listen, I got no problem Dame winning the. I mean, Dame was going to win. I mean, Dame was on fire. Like, so the bright spots of the game. Yo, Van Lee, right, right. 3v3 is the only. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. 3v3, you got to find a way to make this game like you have like 3v3. You have like each like you can have 3v3 on the court at the same time. Like different teams, different 3-man teams for each conference, right? And then you have like 5 minutes of action for each team against each other, right? That way it can be more entertaining. And instead of everybody just awkwardly making these passes when you should score or whatever, or you see guys idly trying to get their buckets up and everything. I mean, Jaylen Brown looked like he was really hunting for that MVP. It was already over. Dame already locked it up. Once he shot that half court three, it was over. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah. So next year's All Star game, I'm not watching. I thought it'd be different. I'm like, okay, let's see. I mean, Halliburton looked good. To start out hitting all those threes. Okay, I was like, okay, we might got some. And then, Kevin Durant was hitting a couple shots early. I just thought it would be a little more competitive. It just was not, man. This is just the product on the court tonight was terrible. Dame was a bright spot, Halliburton early on, and then Anthony Towns in terms of him dunking and stuff. I was like, okay, man, Minnesota's gonna be a problem in the West. I think so. Um, but yeah. So, and Doc Rivers gets credit. He says he's gonna give his check to Adrian Griffin. If I'm Adrian Griffin, I'm wiping that check with my backside and I'm throwing it back in Doc Rivers' face. Like, I don't want nothing to do with the NBA right now. I don't want nothing to do with Milwaukee Bucks or your name being attached to this whatsoever. Yeah, Dame definitely stole the show. Dame was definitely gunning for the MVP. I mean, Halliburton deserves some credit. I just think like there was a weird part where Halliburton was pulled out the game for a minute. So I mean he's young. They should have kept him in there. Let the hometown, let the home team, the Indianapolis dude, let the Pacer get the award, especially how he came out the gate on fire. But Dame, he wanted to make a point. I mean, I saw like well he was the oldest player on the team, so you know it's good shooting from Dame. It's crazy, yo. Like there's people that still think Dame's a better shooter than Steph Curry, and at this point I don't know. I really don't. Underdog Fantasy says question for Thursday. Right, right. He had Damon. Yeah, right. Doc had him in there for a minute, and it's like, yo, Doc, like, yo, you on the hot seat. You cannot afford any mistakes. Giannis can't get hurt. He had Giannis in there playing for a bit. He had Dame in there for a bit. It's like I know it's an All Star game, but seeing how the game is going, it's like you don't need them. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you don't need to play him like that. It's crazy, dog. Right. Lillard had 28 minutes for what? For what? Towns had see that's the thing. Towns had 20, but see Towns was cooking too. But I mean Towns was getting a lot of easy buckets. I don't know why. Like in the Minnesota coach had his guy in there for a minute. And I'm just like Towns when I know he was holding his breath every time Towns went up for a dunk every now and then though, right? Doc can't coach no All Star game, man. Doc is. Well, I'm glad this All Star game is over with now. Now all the attention can be focused back on the Bucks. I mean, yo, that seed is gonna be hot for Doc Rivers. This season is all on Doc Rivers' head. It's just it's freaking terrible, man. What else we got from this? Right. Yeah, yeah. He didn't really showed love to Maxi or Brunson. Nah. Nah, I thought Maxi should definitely got some more runtime for sure. 17 minutes, like, yeah, based on look at the minutes, you clearly who he favored. Halliburton got to get the minutes. You know, Giannis got to get the minutes, and of course Dame got to get the minutes. So I mean, this could be the only bright spot for the Bucks this season that Dame won All Star MVP. I don't see them winning everything again. Anything can happen in basketball. Maybe Doc can turn this around miraculously, considering his track record. But I'm not betting on that. What? When do they play Minnesota? Nah, what did he say? But what did LeBron say about the Lakers? See my connection all screwing up now, man. Okay. I know he said that he didn't know about the I know he said earlier he didn't know about the trade for that the Golden State Warriors had inquired the Lakers about the trade. I don't know, man. I don't know if he said he found that when we found out. I don't believe all that. Yeah, why is this ESPN show acting up, man? Okay, there we go. What is the Bucks schedule? Who do Bucks play next? Looking like yeah, they got crushed by Minnesota. Yeah, dog. And they play Minnesota Friday at Minnesota. Bloodbath. Bloodbath. I wonder what the point spread is going to be on this game. Taking Minnesota, easy, easy, easy. I mean, Minnesota probably they might pull that low manage and be like, "We already knocked y'all, but we already crushed y'all earlier this month. We don't need to really play y'all like that." So I won't be surprised if starters from Minnesota probably won't even play in that game. Honestly, what did LeBron say? LeBron James did not directly address report he declined to join 16. Yeah, 6 years. Hopefully, he stays that way. About yeah, needs to be seen. James Holtz play option turn to Lakers. He could decline and didn't resign. Los Angeles under. I mean, look, if LeBron James enters free agency, right? If he declines his player option, $51 million. Number one, that's a lot of money to decline. But it's just kind of like, where are you gonna go? Like, I know there are teams that would love to have LeBron James services, right? But I mean, is he gonna take a pay cut to try to chase a ring? At this point, LeBron doesn't need to win another ring to convince me. He can win 5 or 2 more rings. I'm still not. He's at the tail end. Like, there's not more he can add to his legacy. So I have no idea. I'm like, yeah. He wants to play in the Olympics too, so and he wants to end his career at the Lakers. I mean, His All-Star game was weak. Yeah, it's that dunk, that one breakaway dunk he had, man. He almost busted his almost busted his leg on this, man. I mean, does LeBron really want to go to New York though? Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, he can go to New York and make more money or whatever, but I mean, he has his whole production. He has all this stuff in LA and his son's at USC. I just don't see that happening. Does he want to like open shop and move to to New York and everything? I mean, I'm sure it's great market opportunity. It's much more. I mean, New York and LA, they're pretty much the same in terms of cost of living, honestly. Both got crazy taxes. I mean, what's the point in playing in Madison Square Garden? And then when you bring in LeBron, like he's the system. Like if you already have a decent system going, like keep at it. Develop your players within your own system. Once you bring LeBron in, everybody gets nervous and don't know how to play ball all of a sudden. And then when LeBron's not happy, right before trade deadline, there's always rumblings on who's got to go, who's got to pack their bags up, who's got to break their lease and whatnot. Man, well, Dame won something. He got an MVP of something. So, you know, I think this might be the only trophy the Bucks will be hoisting or a Bucks member will be hoisting this season. So, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, Rich Paul can say, yeah. I mean, what's Rich Paul gonna say? If Rich Paul be stupid to be like LeBron James, still is trying to, he still got to win a championship. He still got it. Like it's done. He made all y'all boys rich. He's won what 4 championships. He's been to multiple NBA finals. Okay, he's a Mount Rushmore player. Everything. LeBron is good. I mean, at this point, opt back in, finish out your contract with the Lakers, and retire. You know, um, even if he goes, like I said, even if he goes on to win a championship somewhere else, people will hold all those losses against him in the finals. I don't think it's fair, but it's still part of your resume. Yeah, man, this whole weekend for sports was garbage, man. Like number one, they canceled all the like the Saturday they had the Xfinity race for NASCAR. They canceled that because of the weather, right? Okay, fine. So then I'm like, okay, at least we got Daytona. So it's like Sunday's gonna be a good day. Wake up, watch the Daytona race, um, and then end the night with the All Star. No race, and then we got this crappy All Star game. This game was garbage. For LeBron James, 20 All Star appearances is not insane. LeBron James has kept him. So, I mean, he's always continued to play at a high level. Like even in year 21, he's still his averages are still ridiculous. Like what is he averaging? What 24, 25 points a game or something like that?
I mean, Gecko's a beast. He's got that dog in him.
He wasn't just awake before us.
Yeah, he's getting
He'd
almost
already
25
worked
points a
out how to help
game,
protect way more than just your
7
career.
assists, 7
Renters,
rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
jewelry,
Like
pet insurance.
And then he'd come back at night
he
and
can still
start again.
contribute, but it's
When
just
cars
like
go
how
home
much
to
more is he
bed,
willing to
it's
stretch
easy to
himself?
Geico.
At this point. And they can pick another captain. I don't know why LeBron was captain for the West. Like you could have gave it to Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. I know Ty Lue was definitely probably not one because it's weird that Kawhi played in that game. I thought he missed the game they had, I think on Thursday or something like Wednesday or Thursday, whatever. I mean, he didn't play in that game. And then he said he had an injury or something. So it was odd to see him play in the All-Star game. I thought he'd missed that game. But this All-Star game, man, it was no defense in this game whatsoever, man. No defense. Zero defense. They didn't even try throughout the entire game. Most of these All-Star games, they would try to have some defense. LeBron James is upset because Bronny's not. I mean, listen, man. Like Bronny may end up being a decent basketball player one day, But if he doesn't make it to the league, or if he does get to the league and he's not, LeBron James Senior, then there's no knock. You know what I'm saying? Like making it to the league is impressive already. Trying to follow your dad's footsteps and it's impossible. When your dad's LeBron James, that's impossible standards to live up to. Now, his other son, I think, was it Bronny, and then he has another son, younger son, Bryce, who's like already 6'7" or whatever. Now, he might be actually the son. See, now if LeBron James want to wait another 10, 15 years, then the younger son is actually the dude. The younger son is going to be better than Bronny James. Oh, absolutely. I wonder if they got that dunk. I'm sure they already got that dunk up for Luka Doncic. That slip up. Where's that Luka Doncic dunk? Oh, they got that dunk. I want to see if they have it on there. They got the missed dunk. Is the missed dunk on there? Yeah. Where's that dunk? I thought they would have that dunk on there. I wonder what the viewership was for this game. Oh, LeBron got all. Oh, how did LeVar Ball get all his sons past 6'6"? Because his wife is like 5'10", 6 feet. So I mean, and LeVar is already like 6'3", 6'4". So the odds are, you being 6 feet plus, having kids with a woman who is 5'9" and up, there's a good chance that one of your kids will hit the genetic lottery and be 6 feet plus. So that's how that happened. And it's so funny because everybody talks about Halliburton's shot, like how awkward it looks. But Lonzo Ball had it like what Halliburton's doing right now is what Lonzo Ball should have been for the Lakers or Pelicans or Chicago Bulls, right? Halliburton is really Lonzo Ball 2.0, but a lot better. And his awkward shot is just more consistent. So Halliburton definitely can stroke the three. Definitely has. I mean, I don't know what his percentage is. I think he's in the top like 38% from three or something like that. So he's pretty good. Indiana got a good player for the future for sure, man. They just got to build around him. I don't know how far they can go with Siakam. I just don't. They're still off. They're like another key trade away or getting like a bigger play. I don't know. But I mean, they have beaten the top competition in the Eastern Conference though. So if you get them in the series, could they beat New York? Could they beat Cleveland? Sure. But then if they get further, can they make it interesting for Boston, Milwaukee, whatever? I mean, look, I feel like Milwaukee's the type of team that will lose to in the second round to the Pacers. He gonna cheat on Savannah from Well, I mean, it's looking like all the height and talent went to the second child. Shoot. I mean, Bronny's talented too, but I mean, he's listed at. They say he's 6'3" or 6'4". Honestly, he could be like 6'2", and that's it. You know, he has an NBA body, but again, and also too his health, right? I mean, he had a horrible access, a health scare, major health scare. Like I don't know if basketball could be a long term thing for him, especially if something like that happens again. That'd be terrible. Man, this game was horrible, man. This was, like I said, man. They just go ahead, just make the game a 3-point exhibition contest at this point. Everybody and their grandma was trying to shoot threes. Everybody. It's funny that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard got exactly 10 minutes, right? Curry definitely got some minutes.
Not a lot of people know this, but the Gecko is actually
Curry did not shoot that well from three. Curry missed a lot of Curry actually had a bad game too. He missed a lot of 3-pointers. You know, you would think he'd be one of the stars of the game today. Nah.
It's easy to Geico.
4 for 13. Hey man, Karl-Anthony Towns shot the same from 3. Right? Karl-Anthony Towns played 2 more minutes, but he got 50 points. Towns was getting buckets. He was getting a lot of easy buckets though, man. Giannis did Giannis things. Giannis didn't do anything crazy. Adebayo had who replaced Embiid in the starting lineup in 3 points. And then off that 3-pointer, right? Was Bam was the only one from the Miami Heat, so Jimmy Butler got no All-Star votes? Like, that's crazy. Booker didn't look good out there either. Yeah, yo. He scored 211 points, man. His jump was whack. Banchero only has 6 points total. I thought he had more than that. Okay. All right, he didn't have a good game either. Yeah, I'm done with the All-Star game, though. Like, cool, you can watch the dunk contest, the skills challenge, all that stuff. But the actual game, like, this is supposed to be like the capsulating the, you know, event of the All-Star. And it was just, guys just want to shoot. That's all they want to do is shoot. Guys have no business shooting threes at the clip. And they just, all them shooting all those threes, like, if you're not a shooter, if you're not a guard and a shooter, like, you know, you're just ruining the game we're watching. Everybody's jacking up threes, long rebounds, you know, back iron threes, air ball. LeBron had a horrible air ball 3. You know, I mean, it was just clank, 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 clank. The East was swishing them. Like, what, they broke the East broke the record for, like, the most threes made as a team. You know, just get rid of all the lines. Just leave, like, for the court, just leave an arc and make it a just 3-point arc. Have a 3-point line, have a 4-point line, and that's it. So All-Star game should just be only 3s and 4-pointers because everybody wants to shoot threes. Everybody wants to play defense, so that's it. You know, because I don't think they're going to implement some type of 3-on-3 idea, like, you know, 6 people on the court at a time, 3-on-3, half-court basketball. Make it even half-court basketball, right? Shoot, make it look like the Big 3 or something like that. And then it's funny that they didn't want to use the LED court for this game. You know, like, they want to use the LED court for the celebrity game. Oh, use the LED court and at least give us something, you know, to look at. He has some stats, whatever, track who's hot, who's not. You know what I'm saying? At least for a fan interaction, if you're gonna add all this new tech and crap, put it on the court. And the halftime performance was trash. What was it? Was it Jennifer Hudson? Who was it that performed? It's like every halftime performance for the NBA has to be like some R&B singer or something like that. Like, Joe was weak. It was weak as hell. Guys play harder in pickup game at UCLA. They do. All them Rico Hines, whatever that dude is, them UCLA runs and stuff like that, much better than what we saw. Oscar not happy with what he's watching. Yeah, no defense was played whatsoever. It's terrible, man. And also like Reggie Miller's reaction to being inducted to the FIBA when they showed it was weird. He was like, "Oh man, I'm in the FIBA Hall of Fame. Awesome, just like my sister." It was a weird reaction. Like he won't even. It was Reggie Miller. I'm sorry, man. Reggie Miller he's corny. He is corny. Great player, phenomenal player, everything like that. But just as a TV guy, he don't do it for me, man. Seem too washed in that way, like like Reggie Miller could be a weatherman, right? He could be like the next Al Roker or whatever, or what Brian Gumble, whatever. I know Reggie was all over the weekend, man. Um, I mean, look, for an All-Star game, I think Dame's a better shooter than Steph, but I don't think when it matters the most in big time games, when the chips on the line and there's stakes, nah, I'm taking Steph to shoot the shot than Dame. I know Dame has hit, his bye game winner, and you know what I'm saying, but if Dame is this much of an elite shooter like this, because we didn't see shooting like this in the regular season, but I get it's an All-Star game, not a lot of pressure, you just jacking up shots. I understand that, but if he had that same mentality in games, I mean, they probably could be a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Dame probably could have carried some of these teams. I mean, I know over the weekend there was a clip of saying that, oh, he ain't got no ring, and there's so many great players that don't have a ring, and da da da. But then he was like, well, if I win a ring, then I'll definitely be on that side. But it's like, yo, dude, like you've had opportunities in 2019, your Western Conference Finals, you had opportunity. You went to the bubble, had opportunity to knock off the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are that elite of a shooter, you should be able to shoot your team past these series. Hasn't done that. Now he's going to Milwaukee, or he's in Milwaukee, and he has to show out. And I know he's going through a divorce and all that stuff. It don't matter, though. There's a lot of players in the NBA going through a lot of things, and they still show up in ball. So, you see, the thing is, I'm not taking Dame for it. I'm not taking Dame. I'm taking Steph over Dame all day, just because I know that Steph at any point can detonate, and we don't need a last minute shot. you know, Dame was out tonight. He was cooking. So I'm not gonna take that away from Dame. Dame's the top. He's the top. You can make the case he's top three. Like, okay, fine. Who are the best 3-point shooters in the NBA, right? Like, I'm not talking about percentage wise, because that's like you can guys who are in the 40%, but they take like maybe 3-pointers a game or whatever. So what? Steph, Dame, KD. Who's another good 3-point shooter outside those guys that I'm missing? I mean, there's not a lot of people from the three you would take over Dame. Exactly. Like, if once Steph gets going, it's over. You know, once if Dame gets cooking like Steph, like you can still like Dame don't get he never gets cooking like that. That's the thing. Like Dame, he rarely can like just obliterate you from three. Where he can't demoralize you from three like Steph can. I mean, Duncan's okay. Duncan's alright, man. He's. I mean, is he getting minutes now? Because I know he's been in the doghouse. I mean, Eric Spoelstra be he don't play. He's gotten better with defense. I understand that, but I mean, he's shooting 41% from three, but at what clip? At what volume? Right? Like, how many threes is he? How many threes is he average? How many 3-point attempts is he averaging a game? Right? I mean, definitely took a big leap from last year. So I'll give him credit on that for sure. Definitely knocking him down. Was he? But he wasn't even in 3-point. He wasn't even in 3-point contest, was he? But it was a good performance from Dame. You know, it was a good 3-point. Like, if you're just looking at it from a 3-point shooting expedition from everybody who shot threes, it was Halliburton and Dame all day. And then the most talented player on the court, surprisingly, was Karl-Anthony Towns, who is stiff in a lot of ways, but man, he can get up and dunk. I was really impressed. So that was pretty much it for me. It was just watching Cat and his dunks, Halliburton 3, and Dame 3, and then everybody else trying to be like Dame, and then Jaylen Brown trying to run his numbers up. You know, and I like Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's one of my favorite players in the league, but it was obvious what he was doing. You know. Enjoy that trophy. Dame's received boos from Indiana. So he gets booed because Halliburton didn't win. And Dame definitely, when he got back in the game, like the only reason why Doc put him in the game too is just for him to solidify, get an MVP, right? That was the whole point. Other than that, like Dame really had no business playing in fourth quarter, honestly. You know, the game was already over. It was a wrap. It wasn't like the West was gonna make this big run and come back or anything like that. You know, so Doc wanted to make sure Dame got his numbers and everything. Well, hopefully this can get him locked in and focused for the next half of the season, because boy, oh boy, is the heat on the Bucks. The Bucks are going to struggle. If I'm Adrian Griffin, I am chilling, laughing at this whole situation. The statements that Doc and Giannis had earlier today, or if they came from yesterday, whatever, it was just awful. Doc, coaching this team is much harder than I thought. Bro, you were a consultant. However you were consulting, you engineered your way to get the job. Okay, you thought you over here probably talking, consulting. Oh, they should do this. They should play Giannis here. They should use him as a defender here. They should move Lopez out here and do this. Now it's easy when you are armchair quarterback, and it's easy to sound like a basketball savant, right? And the Milwaukee Bucks they ate all that up. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh man, that sounds great, man. We can fire Adrian Griffin. Meanwhile, Adrian Griffin, who isn't a brand name, who is trying to coach, who is trying to, he wasn't making this about himself either. Like Adrian Griffin was like a name, like I'm gonna say names because he was under Nick Nurse staff, whatever. But he won. He got the interview. He earned the position. The 30-13. Yes, teams are gonna go through some ups and downs, but clearly there were whatever he was installing was working. I don't remember them being, because the Bucks for the last 10 games are 3-7 or something like that. I don't know, something crazy, right? And then the Doc to get an extension, crazy. And Doc's already saying, there's guys in Cabo already. Dog, you just got there. What you know about me? You were in Cabo. Are you still in Cabo, Doc? Already talking like that, And then Giannis lying, saying, "Oh, we get along with Doc and da-da." Yeah, you have no choice but to get along, because if there's no more finger pointing. All the finger pointing is done. Budenholzer's gone. Griffin gone. Flamed him up. Cooked him over the grill. Gone. Well, that's what Doc thought. Doc thought that, like what you said, yeah. Doc thought that, I got a 2-time MVP. I got shooters. This is a veteran squad. It's easy. This is the only job that Doc was ready to like hop skip out the booth to just walk his way into a championship. No, this season is going to take work. A lot of it. And Doc is not known. Doc ain't known for being a schematics guy. Again, Everywhere he's been, he's had talent. He haven't had to coach defense. If you look at his teams in the past, there's always a key defender on there. And usually when you have an elite defender, just one on your team, everybody feeds off of that. Just like in offense, when someone's cooking, everybody's making shots all of a sudden, right? Same way on defense. When you have a guy who's an elite defender, clamping down, getting stops, steals, everybody's motivated now, right? Because nobody wants to look like the guy that's not playing defense when there's one guy on defense looking like, all-world defender. He thought it was easy. Doc likes easy though. You saw what he did in Boston. He couldn't do anything until Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett came. Doc he likes easy. And the thing is like one dude on my video, I talked about this earlier today. He commented. He was just like, you need coaches that are going to actually like scheme up defensive and offensive sets, right? Like you're gonna need a coach to actually install something to give you guys an identity, right? Doc Rivers is like these rah-rah coach. So like the days of hiring like Doc Rivers going forward is just not going to work. And with analytics and everything and defensive and offensive sets and spacing and everything like that, you need to have the offense to counteract it and the defense to counteract that, right? So you're going to have to get some of these coaches who are like these set designers, these assistant coaches, these no-name coaches that are actually going to need to start getting these head coaching jobs to coach the teams like this. But because it's a star-studded team like the Bucks, it's like, okay, well, let's get Doc Rivers because he's worked with stars before. That's the only reason why they hired Doc Rivers, not because of his resume. His resume is garbage as of recent, for a while, actually. So, you're just hiring him because he's coached star players. That's it. But if you actually, like, Adrian Griffin was a schematics guy trying to install something. And then you saw what happened. The players aren't happy. So players can't have it both ways. You want a guy that's going to coach you or a guy who's just going to, give you rah-rah and be like, hey, you guys need to just play harder on defense. As opposed to saying, hey, like, you need to be here. When the ball comes here, I need y'all to motion over here. All that stuff. Like, Doc ain't doing all that. If he is, the players aren't listening to him. The players see Doc's resume. Like, come on, man. It was a joke of a hire. Doc knows he doesn't deserve the job. He looked guilty of the All-Star game, too. He just had his head down the whole time when they called his name out for the coach. Head down. Just shameful. Walk of shame for Doc. Yeah, the Bucks are paying. Yeah, the Bucks' payroll is on fire right now. Paying all those coaches ain't good at all. Sorry about that. But yeah. Nah. Same thing with Philly. Thought Embiid was an easy chip. Yeah. Maybe he thought it was an easy. Listen, man, if Embiid did not go down, before Embiid went down, I was saying all year Sixers. Like, Embiid was MVP. Embiid's not eligible no more. So, but I mean, Embiid was MVP this year, and it wasn't even close. Embiid was straight up cooking. Embiid was cooking. Yeah. Doc's teams are always stacked. Boston, and people forget about that Orlando team in 2004 with Trace McGrady. Like in 2003, 2000, like Trace McGrady was up there. Like injuries definitely robbed Trace McGrady of a type of career, but from a talent perspective, like I know it probably sounds blasphemous, but like 2003, 2004 Trace McGrady was on par with Kobe Bryant, right? If you take that version of Trace McGrady and you swap Kobe and put him with Shaq, like the Lakers probably would have still won a championship. Maybe not as much, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But eventually Kobe was just overall the better player, right? But there was a small window, just like people forget too. Like there was a small window. People I don't know if people forget, but people my age definitely remember that there was a window where Carmelo Anthony was almost a bit damn near better player than LeBron James. You know, between like 2004, 2006, there was like that window where people were viewing Melo as that dude compared to LeBron. But yeah, he's always had good teams. So the two iteration teams with the Clippers, like when he had Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, there's some other guys on that team. That team was stacked too. That Clippers team disappointed. Nah, Doc was good though. I mean, not good, but Dwight was good. Dwight was good in Orlando. People don't talk about Dwight in Orlando. I mean, he went to NBA Finals, 2009. So, but Doc don't know how to build. Doc don't know how to coach a team without talent. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw what Nick Nurse did in Toronto. He just had one star player. Boom, chip year one. You know what I'm saying? Goes to Philly. You got Maxey, you got Harden, you got Embiid, you got Tobias Harris, who's been playing better this year. I got the heat on Tobias Harris just because of the money he's making. But, I mean, with that kind of talent, man, dog, like... Nah, Doc can't be trusted in the postseason at all. But yeah, I'm never watching an All-Star game again until they change the format up. They try to change that format up with just like the captains and East and West can play against each other. Okay, cool. That kind of helped it a little bit, but I'm never watching that game again. It was terrible. And if LeBron James was hurt, I don't know why like watching LeBron out there was hard to watch too. Like that dunk was, and then Luka missing on the rim, like that was embarrassing. Yeah, the draft was cringe. All of it was. The whole event was cringe. Like every time I watched the All-Star, like especially growing up when I was younger, watching the All-Star, it was like, yo, this is like a real basketball expedition. You see some of the best players hitting shots, playing defense, competitive down to the wire. The games were close. This one was just like, okay, well, it was a sprint to who can make the most threes, right? That was it. And then once Halliburton wasn't missing basically from three in the first, I'm like, okay, well, it's over. This is gonna be, it's pretty much over for the East. I mean, for the West, at this point. Hey, yo, Van Lee, you funny. Dog, the podcast culture is bad, right? Like, I'm on YouTube, right? Obviously, right? I do this for fun. I like talking sports, all kinds of sports, stuff like that. But it's like all these athletes, they all have a podcast now, right? And
engage and destroy the enemy.
Most of them ain't good. And they just bored and they haven't invested their money. They weren't very smart with their money. So the next thing they need to do is start a podcast, right? A lot of these dudes got nothing to do. Dwayne Wade got a podcast now. Weird. Is he gonna have his son on there? Oh, they're gonna flame. Oh, listen, they're gonna flame this All-Star game up tomorrow. Like, there was nothing good to take away from this game at all. Steve Nash was like, that was the worst game I've seen in history. God. He's like, that's the worst All-Star game in my life I could ever recall. Even though he had a horrible start to his All-Star. You know, slipping on that court. He missed work and everything. Yeah, Haslam has a podcast. Redick has a podcast. All these 4 players have a podcast. It's becoming podcast overload. These guys be going in. Yeah, Colin Cowherd, he go live like right away. JJ Redick, those guys will be on it. I get it. You want to, you know, be the first to, you know, steal views and stuff like that, especially for the bigger names like those guys. You know, they're gonna join the audience. Nightcap. Nightcap might do something. You know.
Hostile Mosquito is online.
And the thing is, there's just so many podcasts to like keep track of. It's hard to keep track of them. You know, I watch Gil's Arena every now and then though. He says some stuff, but I think Gilbert just has that. He just has a unique personality that I like. I know a lot of people don't like Gil. I like Gil. You know, I know he can go off and say some weird stuff sometimes, but he's funny though. And then obviously Shannon Sharp is Shannon Sharp. Stephen A. Smith's podcast is lame. Draymond uses podcast as a weapon. I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, that's his platform to go off on people. So I mean, that's how he wants to use it. But Stephen A. Smith's show, like, it's just, it's not good. And every time like Shannon Sharp has a big moment or something, like he feels like he has to have a big moment. You know, with the whole Jason Whitlock thing and everything. Like, when he comes across as mad, it's like entertainment fake mad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Loading.
no, I play on PC. I don't game on Xbox anymore. I gave up on console gaming like 4 years ago. I played totally on PC. Because like for me, like all the Xbox games that are exclusive are on PC, so I just play on it. And I like keyboard and mouse a lot better. So
Sniper's down.
try to get on me.
Enemy UAV active.
Tornado.
Oh, yeah. But as far as these podcasts go, it's like, okay, Nightcap is cool, Gil's Arena is cool.
The enemy is gaining
Go to Shay
ground.
Shay, but that's not
Push it
really.
back.
I mean, that's just interviews and stuff. But I mean, everybody else like Haslam uses it as a weapon too. Haslam's funny though. Haslam be cracking me up,
Loading.
but I don't stay watching those guys though. Like,
Contact. Grenade.
Deploy the Mosquito.
Reloading.
The enemy holds the lead. Clock is ticking. Hostile Mosquito is online. Hostile UAV in the area. Hostiles deploy the Mosquito.
that's gonna be funny tomorrow. What everybody got to say about this crap game. I wouldn't be surprised if viewership is low.
Launched a cruise missile. Hostile Mosquito is online. Hostiles deployed a remote turret.
Enemy down! Contact! Grenade out! Grenade out!
Getting hit hard.
Game is trash right now. I'm putting on this team.
Changing mag!
Hostile remote turret is active.
Understand?
Friendly UAV online.
Grenade! Wolf!
Mission failed. Return to base.
See, Nightcap and the boys already live, man. Everybody.
Mosquito deployed. Incoming! Grenade! Enemies inside the perimeter. Friendly cluster mine. Reloading! Incoming! Grenade! Incoming! Secure the area. Friendly care package on the way. Enemy Mosquito active. Hostile UAV in the area. Throwing grenade! Hardpoint relocated. Stand by. Enemies inside the perimeter. Grenade! Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target area. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Friendly Mosquito active. Enemies inside the perimeter. Incoming! Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Taking effective fire! Enemy UAV active. Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by. Hostile UAV in the area. Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint. Enemies inside the perimeter. Enemy UAV active. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Inside the perimeter. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Friendly Mosquito deployed. Changing mags! Enemies inside the perimeter. Hardpoint relocating. Stand by. Reloading! Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target area. Friendly cruise missile deployed. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Flashback! Target down! Enemies inside the perimeter. Grenade! Throwing grenade! Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by.
1-1 requesting recon at this time.
Incoming! Compromised. Secure the area.
I saw the light there.
Target area. I'm hit! Enemies inside the perimeter.
I'm reloading.
UAV is bingo fuel. RTV at this time.
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Hostile Mosquito is online. You're halfway to mission complete. Finish it. Enemies inside the perimeter. compromised. Secure the area. I'm reloading. Confirming next hard point. Stand by. Target area updated. Move to the hard point. Hard point compromised. Secure the area. Enemies inside the perimeter. Hard point compromised. Secure the area. Friendly Mosquito active. Enemies inside the perimeter. Enemy UAV active. Hostile UAV in the area. Hardpoint relocated.
recon
Stand
flyover.
by.
Reloading.
Hardpoint relocated. Secure the hostiles launch the cruise missile.
Wow, that was a. Also was locked up in there. Yeah, that's crazy. I still hit.
Hostile SAE near your position. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Enemies inside the perimeter. Hostiles deploy the Mosquito. We've lost the lead. Compromised. Secure the area. Enemy UAV active. Enemies inside the perimeter. Next hardpoint. Stand by. Hostile UAV in the area.
Multiple. Taking effective fire.
Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint.
Incoming. Grenade.
Mastermind deployed. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.